received a communication from the chair that he's not going to hold up for the people of the public to be here. So if we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, just filling in for Chairman Quish for a moment or so. Mr. Sadi here. We did the pledge. Amy, if we could do a roll call, please.
Mr. Agnesi?
Present.
Mr. Alling?
Present.
Mr. Anderson has been excused. Mr. Hirsch?
Here.
Mr. Collegian?
Present.
Mr. Machio has been excused. Mr. Mortimer?
Present.
Mr. Sadi?
Present.
Mr. Zaharides has been excused. And Chairman Quish.
Okay. The message I received from the chair is we can start the business, and he will join the meeting when he does appear here. The first one is we have new business, 40 Broad Street, Zone MCDD, a referral pursuant to CGS 824 to approve construction with the City of Milford easement for parking and set forth the easement from Cheryl and Dominic de Blasi to the City of Milford, recorded volume 1004, page 240 of the Milford Land Records. And I see Attorney Lynch here. Good evening, Attorney Lynch.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening to you and the rest of the board. And just for the record, my name is Thomas Lynch. I'm an attorney with the law firm Lynch, Trimbicki, and Boynton, and my office is located here in Milford at 63 Cherry Street. And I'm here tonight with our city attorney, John Burcham, along with my client, Stuart Walls. Stuart is the principal of 40 South Broad, LLC. He's the owner of the property at 40 South Broad. And this is basically the front end of a process. We need to appear before you tonight and request a referral from the board to the Board of Aldermen under Section 8-24 of our general statutes, insofar as this project will involve work within a city right-of-way or an easement that I'll speak about in just a minute. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time going into the guts of our proposal. We do have plans that we've submitted to you just for your review, but this is the front end of the process. We go from here with a hopefully affirmative vote from the board, referring this matter to the Board of Aldermen. Attorney Burcham and I will then have to appear before the Board of Aldermen and make the proposal as it relates to the city property. And then if it's approved by the Board of Aldermen, it comes back here and we'll be presenting a site plan application to you. And I refer to a site plan application only because this property is located in zone classification MCD, the Milford Center Design District, and ultimately what we're going to be proposing is a mixed-use building, which is a permitted use in the zone. So very briefly, my client purchased this property in 2005. I think if we're all aware of the back end of the parking lot behind Colony Pizza, there's a white building that's there. When I was growing up, it was referred to as the White Elephant. It was a city, originally a city maintenance garage. As I said, Stuart purchased the property in 2005 from Cheryl and Dominic de Blasi. But during the term of the de Blasi's ownership of this property in 1979, an easement was granted to the city of Milford to provide for 8 parking spaces to the left of the existing building to be used for public parking. I don't know if the city had to pay a fee to the de Blasi's for that. The easement document does not reference that. But back in that period of time when there was development all around that parking lot between Armory Walk and Armory Square and the development of the apartments to the rear at Schooner Wharf, there's a great need for parking in that area, so the town did acquire this easement to provide for public parking. So the plan that we'll be presenting to you, ultimately with a site plan application, is a plan for a mixed-use building It'll provide for 11 residential units and 3 commercial units. But the beauty of it is it's going to be elevated on the first floor so that the 8 parking spaces that are there now pursuant to that easement will remain, all right? The only thing is there'll be construction going on. There'll probably be a 6-month or so disruption of the use of the parking spaces while the building's going to be built. But ultimately, upon the construction of the building, the same 8 spaces will be there, and they'll actually be enhanced because they'll be covered, they'll be enclosed, and the site plan also provides for a handicap parking space to be provided, which is not included in that group of parking spaces at this time. So that's the sum of it, and happy to answer any questions. We did submit a request to have this brought onto your agenda tonight. David did put onto the agenda the plans, but these will be presented to you under a site plan application that hopefully will come at a later date. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions by the members of the board? Is the city attorney going to be making any comments on this particular application? If so,
I'll let him speak to that.
thank you.
Good evening, board. As Attorney Lynch indicated, we met.
If you might just give us your name.
Oh,
and
I'm
your-
sorry, Mr.
your
Savvy.
title. Thank you.
John Bertram, City Attorney, City of Milford. So we met with Mr. Walls and Attorney Lynch. They showed us these plans. Obviously, the city's interest was the parking spaces remaining. Obviously, we benefited, the public's benefited by the spaces. Anybody that's ever been to Colony or any other of the businesses down there know that parking's a premium down there, so we didn't want to lose spaces. So as presented by Mr. Walls and Attorney Lynch, obviously there's no loss in spacing. In fact, Attorney Lynch remarked to me they may be more desirable because should this project go forward, they would be covered. So the city's position is that this seems consistent, this project seems consistent with MCDD and transit-oriented development, and for these purposes for 824, obviously there's no impact other than the period of construction with the municipal parking easement that the city obtained in 1979.
Thank you, Attorney Bertram. Any questions for the city attorney? Yes, Mr. Hirsch.
Good evening, Attorney Bertram. Assuming the applicant doesn't or changes his or her mind as to whether to put this project, what happens then? Does it still remain, the parking spaces in the building still remain?
Yes, the parking easement remains, and that's the city's responsibility to maintain. So whether it exists as it is today, or a couple
Well,
next
whatever
steps.
happens in the
So
future, yeah.
assume you get a positive referral here, and then the next step would be referral to the Board of Aldermen, which is simple majority for 824. Obviously, the 824 is an improvement to the easement, to the area. If it was a negative referral, it would take a super majority, but if there was aldermanic approval in 824, then I assume that 40 South Broad LLC and Attorney Lynch would be back before this board with the proposed development of the site.
Right. All I'm saying is I know that they intend to bring a certain site plan for mixed use, but if, let's say they change their mind and they want to do only residential, the city has no opinion on that, doesn't care one way or the other.
That's your purview. I just want to make sure our spaces are protected.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Mr. Hirsch, we're going to make a motion on this particular application.
Sure. I make a motion to approve a referral pursuant to Connecticut General Statutes, Section 8-24, to approve construction within the City of Milford easement for parking set forth in an easement from Cheryl and Dominic de Blasi to the city, recorded in volume 1004 at page 240 of the Milford Land Records.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Mortimer. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, we'll take a roll call, please.
Mr. Agnesi?
With the motion.
Mr. Alling?
With the motion.
Mr. Hirsch?
With the motion.
Mr. Collegian?
With the motion.
Mr. Mortimer?
With the motion.
Mr. Sadi?
With the motion?
Motion passes.
Motion passes. Thank you very much. Next are public hearings. These would be closed by January 6th of next year, vote by March 12th of 2026. The first one on the public hearing docket is 5 Dixon Street. It's a Zone R5. Petition of Ronald and Felicia Schmidt for lot line adjustment and zone boundary, relocation map 60, block 753, parcel 6, of which Ronald and Felicia Schmidt are the owners. Thank
Hello.
you, and good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
If you would start off by giving us your names and your address, which we have on the record, but verbally if you would do so, please, and then start your presentation.
Felicia and Ron Schmidt, 5 Dixon in Milford. I don't even know the zip code. We don't live there, it's just a lot
No.
right now.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, go ahead, please.
So we began this process by requesting a lot line adjustment from our neighbor, with our neighbor. In that process, became aware of the fact that we would also need a zone boundary change because our neighbor's property is zoned an R7.5 and ours is an R5. So from my understanding, in order for us to change the boundary, it would include some of his property that we would then own, but that would be at the 7.5 zone, which wouldn't match the rest of our lot. So that, from my understanding, all needs to match and be the same zone. Does that make sense? Okay.
Thank you. Anything else? You don't need to say anything more, but I just don't know if there's anything else you need.
I'm sorry?
If there's anything else you need to say, that's fine.
No,
Okay.
that's it.
unless you need something else from us, any
Not
explanation?
yet.
No. Okay.
At this point, Mr. Salkus, if you give us an administrative summary, please, on the issue of 5 Dixon Street and the 2 applicants.
The applicant is proposing to purchase 260 square feet of land from their neighbor at 9 Dixon Street, establishing a new lot line. The existing lot line is also the existing zone boundary line with 5 Dixon in the R5 zone and 9 Dixon in the R75 zone. The proposed relocation of the lot line necessitates the relocation of the zone line so that all of 5 Dixon is one R5 zone lot. The proposed changes result in 5 Dixon becoming more zoning compliant regarding parcel size and 9 Dixon remaining zoning compliant in the R75 zone.
Thank you. After hearing the administrative summary and the applicant's comments, any members of the board have any questions for the applicants or for Mr. Salkus? Seeing none, this is a public hearing. If there's any members of the public that do wish to speak on this particular application, if you might come up to the microphone. We have very few people in the audience. Nobody's come forward. So is there any question, any concern that we should not close the hearing at this point and go to a vote? Attorney,
I just have a question.
thank you.
Just so I'm clear, I know they're not here, but your neighbor is okay with this arrangement? The purchase, you've already had an agreement to purchase the property?
Yes.
All right, so in other words, if we grant this, we're not going to come back in a month and say, oh, sorry, we changed our mind, we're not going to purchase from our neighbor?
No, we've already have a verbal agreement with him that we've had for a couple months. And we have a letter of support from the other neighbor who had no problem with what we were doing.
Perfect, thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Salkus.
it should also be noted that earlier this evening, the Borough of Woodmont came by and dropped off letters that are in front of each of the board members, and for the record, the Borough has no issues with this application.
Thank you very much for putting that on the record. I did see the one-page document. Is there any further discussion on the matter? I will be listening then to a motion regarding 5 Dixon Street.
Mr. Chair? You have to,
Yeah, have to close the public hearing.
thank you.
That's correct. We have Mr. Hirsch, you were making a motion earlier to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Thank you. Would somebody second it, please?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Take a vote on this, please.
Do we have a motion that the board is going to vote on?
Motion is to close the public hearing.
Is there going to be a motion to vote on this?
At some point, there will be.
Just checking.
Thank you for interrupting. If you might do the vote, please. Thank you.
Mr. Agnesi?
With the motion.
Mr. Alling?
With the motion.
Mr. Hirsch?
With the motion.
Mr. Collegian?
With the motion.
Mr. Mortimer?
I am with the motion.
Mr. Sadi?
With the motion, is there another motion to, regarding 5 Dixon Street?
I move to approve as presented the petition of Ronald and Felicia Schmidt for a lot line adjustment and zone boundary relocation of maps 60, block 753, parcel 5, of which Ronald and Felicia Schmidt are the owners, effective date December 26, 2025.
I will second the motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Looking both right and left, I see nobody that wishes to speak or ask questions. If you might take a roll call, please.
Mr. Agnesi?
With the motion?
Mr. Alling?
With the motion.
Mr. Hirsch?
With the motion.
Mr. Collegian?
With the motion.
Mr. Mortimer?
With the motion.
And Mr. Sadi?
I'm with the motion. Congratulations, good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have 16 Carolyn Street, Zone R5. This is petition of Fred D'Amico for a special permit for a coastal area site plan review at map 27, block 440, parcel 6, of which Maurice Ruggieri is the owner. I'm assuming you're Mr. D'Amico?
Yes, hi.
And if you just give us your name and your address, and we'll listen to your comments.
Hi.
Thank you.
I'm Maurice Ruggieri, better known as Sonny Ruggieri. I live currently at 10 Caroline Street in Milford with my daughter and my wife. We bought a piece of property on 16 Caroline Street about 4 years ago, and we tore a house down that was there, a small little house that needed to be torn down. Anyway, we're here for approval to build a home that we're going to reside in, my wife and I. And we've gone through the process that we've been asked to go through. We went through DEEP, and we have approval from the DEEP. We've gone through the town engineering, and it seems like everything is in place. If there are any technical questions, I'm here with my builder, Victor Rosado, and Andrew Rosado, and our civil engineer, Fred D'Amico, who put the drawings together. I'm here to answer any questions that you have.
Sure, thank you. Are there any questions for the board for Mr. Ruggieri? Mr. Hirsch?
All right. I always ask this in these type of applications. What structure, if any, is currently on the property?
It's empty. There's nothing.
The house is already knocked down?
The house was taken down a year ago, October. We had a permit to do that, and it was hopefully right after we were going to build, but we ran into issues with zoning, and we fell below the threshold where we had to go to DEEP.
Did you have to go to DEEP because of your relation? It's in relation to Silver Sands area?
Correct.
So this property, I know the area from the mapping a little bit. This is essentially between Long Island Sound and Silver Sands?
Correct.
I think it's near Maddox. Maddox is in the area?
Yeah, we're on one of the little finger streets off of East Broadway.
Right. And a lot of houses being built there, as my understanding, is that they're being built on stilts.
Correct.
But I don't think this, at least from what I saw, this house will not be built on stilts.
It will, it's piles. There are piles that we're putting in, and it's a elevation 11 feet.
And there's going to be a garage. Oh, there's going to be a garage? There it is. There's the garage.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, is that a one-car garage or two-car garage?
It's a two-car garage.
Okay, I couldn't tell. And it looks like there's a means of egress and ingress on the side of the house. And is there a way to, I assume there's a means of ingress and egress from the garage to the second floor living area?
Well, coming off of the street, we're about 18 feet before we hit the garage. And to one side of the property, to the left side, looking at it from the front, we have 12 feet. And the other side where the deck is, I believe we have 17 feet from the deck, so.
Thank you.
Any further comments or questions, Mr. Mortimer?
For the record, any part of this structure approaching the wetlands in back?
No.
No. Okay. And from piles, I take it you mean helical piles?
Yes, we're doing piles, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other further comments or questions? Seeing none, Mr. Sulkus, can you give us the administrative summary, please?
The applicant is constructing a new single-family dwelling of 35 feet in height, replacing the existing dwelling that was there previously on the site. The plans have been reviewed by the city engineer in deep, with recommendations from the city engineer to correct or clarify some information which could be made a condition of approval. A license by the deep has been granted to conduct work within the state of Connecticut's jurisdiction. No adverse impacts to coastal resources are anticipated.
Thank you very much. Any further comments or questions after hearing Mr. Sulkus' the administrative summary? Hearing none, this is a public hearing. Is anybody here in the public wishing to speak either in favor of or against the application that is before us? I see, again, about 7 to 10 people here, nobody coming forward. Is there any reason to keep the public hearing open? Can we have this granted by assent? All members agreeing that we'll go to discussion. Any discussion on the application by Mr. Ruggiero? Mr. Hurst, thank you.
Well, it's certainly an improvement over what was there previously, the previous home. I just, obviously I'm in favor of this project. I just get very nervous when I see construction in coastal areas. I assume this is a high-risk flood zone, a VE or AE flood zone?
Correct, A11.
Are there any anti-flooding measures that are proposed to be built on this property to prevent flooding in the area? Any venting or any piping?
Yes, there's piping and drainage, and there's a dry well. I'm not sure the legal word for it, but yes. And that site is in the front on the upper left-hand corner. On the street side, you'll see there's a spot where drainage will go into, and that's a dry well of some sort.
Yeah, I just think,
Mr. Hurst, I think that my memory serves it correct. We closed the public hearing by assent.
Okay, I'm asking questions too.
I understand, but the public hearing has been closed. You can ask a couple more questions. We were going to go to a issue of a vote.
Okay, we can vote, that's fine.
Okay, I'll listen to a motion on 16 Carolyn Street then, please. Thank you.
I move to approve as presented the petition of Fred D'Amico for a special permit with coastal area site plan review on map 27, block 449, parcel 6, of which Maurice Ruggiero is the owner. Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, if you might take the roll call, please. I'm sorry.
Mr. Chair, I just wanted to suggest that we amend the motion to, with the condition that the applicant adhere to the recommendations of the city engineer's letter dated May 15th, 2025.
And that goes back to Mr. Mortar. Would you accept the amendment as suggested by Member Alling?
Yes, I will
And-
accept that.
And do we have the same on the second?
Yes.
Thank you. So we have the motion. If we can do a vote on the motion, please.
Mr. Agnesi?
With the motion.
Mr. Alling?
With the motion.
Mr. Hirsch?
With the motion.
Mr. Collegian?
With the motion.
Mr. Mortimer?
With the motion.
Mr. Sadi?
Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Alling, for picking that up. Last matter that we have, public hearings, is 852 Boston Post Road, Zone CDD1, petition of Thomas Lynch Esquire for a special permit with site plan review on map 077, block 828, parcel 6, of which 852 Post LLC, Erin Patel is the owner.
Good, thank you.
Congratulations, thank you. Good evening again, Attorney Lynch. We'll listen to your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And again, just for the record, Thomas Lynch. On this application, I'm representing my client, Sanjeet Patel, who's seated in the front row behind me. Sonny is the owner of 852 Post Road LLC, or he's the manager of 852 Post Road LLC, the owner of the property at 852. So this is an application for a special permit. It's actually a revised project. This was originally approved by the board back in June of 2022, and we ran into some problems after the approval in terms of meeting elevations and the complexity of having handicap ramps put in for that building that was approved. So Sonny went back to the drawing board, and Joe Rousseau put together this building, which is much more user-friendly, especially utilizing the property next door at 71 Orange Avenue, which is also owned by my client. So again, just referencing back in 2022, there was a 3-story building consisting of parking on level 1, a hair salon on level 2, and a 2-bedroom apartment on level 3. This building is a 2-story building. It's been reconfigured with having a larger parking area utilizing the adjacent property through an easement, so that it's now a 2,200 square foot 2-level building with the salon on the first floor and a 2-bedroom apartment on the second floor. The property it's a very small piece of property. It's some 5,200 square feet in size, located in the Post Road zone, the CDD1 zone. But as I said, my client owns 71 Orange Avenue next door. So as you can see on the site plan, I think it might be the next. No, that's a good depiction. That page there shows the utilization of a 12-foot easement on the easterly portion of 71 Orange Avenue to accommodate a larger parking space, a larger parking area now, with some 8 spaces that can be put right in front of the building, rather than having the parking somewhat in front and then a level on the lower level, which the other building had. The plans were reviewed by all the city departments. You know, I hate to say it, but this is a pretty straightforward special permit application to you. It was reviewed by the police department with no problems. The fire department issued its memo last month. We had received approval from the sewer commission back in '22, so they administratively approved the revised plans. There's no inland wetlands involvement. And then lastly, the city engineer gave his review. It was pretty standard language that Mr. Podleski put in there. He made recommendations, or at least emphasized that unless waived by the city public works director, that sidewalks and curbs would be required, which we certainly adhere to that. And also, Ron Wasmer, who is also here with me tonight, Ron did the site plan. The site plan was amended to provide for a handicap space. So other than that, I don't really think there's much that Ron needs to add. Again, this is just a revised plan that was previously approved. The building was just reconfigured. Happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Do you have any questions from the board? Mr. Hirsch?
Good evening. I just put my name in for the record in case there's any questions. Ronald Wasmer, professional engineer, land surveyor with an office at 158 Research Drive, Milford.
I was going to save your steps.
That'll be part of the record.
Yes,
Anytime.
that's right. Either one can
Yeah.
answer this. This is pretty basic. Are there any other mixed-use buildings similar to this in that zone that you're aware of, Attorney Lynch? Or in that area or in the CDD1 zone?
I'm casing up and down the
I
street.
am
mean, you have
too.
the Bella Napoli Plaza next door, you have across the street, you have
Mama
the Dunkin'
Teresa's
Donuts,
across the street,
You
yeah.
have the Yale buildings, you have you're going to have the Metro Star is going to be coming in with a application for the property at the corner of North Street and, Orange Avenue and the Post Road. I believe that is a large-scale mixed-use project that'll be developed there. But a small building like this, I can't think of another one.
I can't think of it either. I mean, there are some obviously on Cherry Street, but I can't think of any other one in the CDD1 zone, and
Yeah,
that's all.
but it's permitted in that zone with a special permit.
Sure.
Mr. Chair, if it makes
Yes.
a difference, when you continue down the CDD1, go underneath the expressway that links the Parkway to 95, the first plaza that appears on your right, or the second one that has Sealy Deli, has carpet and tile for the mile. That's a mixed-use plaza that has residential in it.
And there's another one just before the Parkway connector.
On the left.
On that, right.
Yeah.
Thank you for having good memories.
I know
So-
my geography.
Any other, well, I was going to ask you about the
After
elephants.
living here as many years as I have, I know every nook and cranny of this
And
place.
you topped it today talking about the elephant house. Anyway, do we have any other comments or questions? Seeing none, Mr. Sulkus, if you could help us out with the administrative summary, please.
The applicant is proposing a new mixed-use building of 2,222 square feet with 1,111 square feet of commercial space on the first floor and 1,111 square feet on the second floor, which contains one two-bedroom apartment. 8 parking spaces are provided for, which are partially located on the adjacent parcel managed by the applicant, who has granted himself an easement to be placed on the land records for its use. The city engineer recommends that a proposed sidewalk extend across the full frontage of the property and that all curbing be concrete.
Thank you. Attorney Lynch, I have a question. After listening to the administrative summary, maybe my math is not good. It's a 22 square foot building, split by 11 on each floor.
That's correct.
And what he just indicated, on the second floor is a two-bedroom apartment that's going to be 1,100 feet square?
Correct. It's going to be a large apartment.
I would suggest that's large.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's
I just want to make sure that
No,
my math wasn't off.
No, it's definitely going to be a large apartment. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Anything else from the board? Any need to keep the public hearing open? Can we close it by assent? I see everybody agree we close this public hearing. Any motion to be made by anybody? And if you were considering that, there might be some conditions. Thank you.
I move to approve with the following conditions. The petition of Thomas Lynch, Esquire, for a special permit with site plan review on map 077, block 828, parcel 6, of which 852 Post LLC, Heron Patel is the owner. The conditions are: 1, the proposed sidewalk extend, across the full frontage of the property. 2, all curbing be concrete. And 3, provide a van accessible space.
Thank you, Mr. Mortimer. Do we have a second?
I second.
Mr. Alling, thank you very much. Any further discussion on the motion? Mr. Hirsch?
I think it's a great project. I'm quite frankly surprised nothing's ever been put there before, because it's the Post Road, and I think it's the only, that I can think of, the only vacant area on the entire Post Road. And just to the people watching on TV, if there's a developer that wants to do something with the old M&M farms, maybe they can consider converting that as well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hirsch. Seeing no other comments to be made, we take a vote, please.
Mr. Agnesi?
With the motion.
Mr. Alling?
With the motion.
Mr. Hirsch?
With the motion.
Mr. Collegian?
With the motion.
Mr. Mortimer?
With the motion?
Mr. Sadi?
I'm with the motion. Good luck, thank you very much.
Thank you.
There's no old business. Liaison reports will not be generated until next year because our meeting is next week. Subcommittee reports, you might recall that the last meeting, there was a discussion about getting some money in. I'm assuming that that's not happened. In any event, the chair is not here to give a specific comment on that. Approval of minutes. Make a motion to approve minutes. Anybody?
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Agnese, Mr. Hirsch is the second. Thank you very much. Those are approved. Now, the chair's report will be given tonight, but very briefly. We all probably got our emails from Mr. Sulkus. This is the last meeting of December. We will then be meeting again in January of 2026. Is that accurate, Mr. Sulkus?
Correct.
Thank you. That being said, we have one member of the board who is not going to be sitting with us in the same position. That's Mr. Hirsch. He may come and decide not to watch it on MGAT and come and see us, but I want to comment on the excellent work you've done, Eton. You know, it's not easy serving here, and I did ask him before the meeting, because I don't think he's ever made a motion, to at least try to do it once, and he got it right twice. I really appreciate that. You know, you will be missed. You know, your comments and your questions are always thoughtful, insightful. We don't have to agree with our positions, because sometimes we took different positions, but it was a pleasure having you here. And if anybody else wants to make a comment regarding Mr. Hirsch's performance, not only tonight, but for the time that you might have served with him, you're welcome to make that. If not, we'll go to staff report.
I would just second what you have said. Mr. Hirsch has been I don't want to say inspiration, but I look to him as a leader, and we're going to miss you.
May I make a comment, Mr. Chair?
As long as it's not going to be long, it's going to be insightful.
I'm going to follow what the chairman, Phil Vitro, does at the Board of Aldermen meetings, which is give people 3 minutes. I'm going to take 1 minute. And I'm going to say thank you to everybody on this board. It's been a privilege and an honor to serve with all of you. And it's been a privilege and an honor to serve the people of Milford these last 4 years. And the people of Milford will be in excellent hands with this board as we continue to make our city with a small heart a better place to live for everybody.
Thank you, Eton. You had 15 seconds. I appreciate you cutting it back. David, is there any staff report? There's a housing issue. If you might make that for public comment, please.
Yeah, on Thursday night in Woodbridge at the JCC, there is a housing forum put together by the Regional Council of Governments in the town of Woodbridge, but it applies to all of us, where they're going to discuss some of the upcoming changes that the legislature has made. One of the expert attorneys in the state on land use and housing will be making that presentation, and he's an excellent speaker. So you're all invited to go to that. I also, I believe, emailed you some other educational opportunities, which you should take advantage of if you're able to.
Thank you very much, Dave. And just as a very brief follow-up on that, I am your liaison to the South Central Council of Regional Governments. There's been discussion about the possible changes, and this hearing is public, but they're trying to make it so there'll be some sort of a video that if you can't attend the in-person, you should be able to hear that. But I know it seems the Council of Governments, which is the whole state, is very mindful of the fact that there's been a substantial change in the law that has to be given to all of the planning and zoning officials in the state in a meaningful manner. Just want to let you know about that. So if you can't make it on Thursday night, you'll find some other ways to do so. As my last request, Mr. Hirsch, if you might make a motion for adjournment. If not, we can't leave.
Well, I think the basketball game is on at 9 o'clock, so if we just sit here for an hour and 15 minutes, we're not really missing much. So we can stay here for 75 more minutes.
That was a question of, were you going to make the motion?
Okay, I know. I will make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see everybody back in January. Thank you.